Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 3 taking place here on Ancient Isle. We are all tied up at one game apiece, Shadai versus Sonik, as things do get underway. Shadai spawning as the Undead player on the bottom right hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Sonik has spawned as the yellow Night Elf on the top left. Ancient of War going to start training up an archer here in just a moment, just outside of range, as we're going to be looking at a ghoul who has already come in for a little bit of early harass. All right, ghoul and archer could go at it back and forth, as the ghoul going to get some easy damage onto that archer here in just a moment, and now has delayed the creeping fairly easily. All right, Warden, however, does come in with a shadow strike. And the Warden, solo Warden, going to be a very, very powerful hero choice as this ghoul is trying to get away. Down to 40 hit points. It looks like, does actually fall at the hands of the Warden, who uses a second shadow strike to finish off that ghoul. Death Knight all across over here. Rod of Necromancy and Scroll of Town Portal. Death Knight has not picked up, very, very importantly, a Unholy Aura. He does have Death Coil, and he should be able to steal here in just a moment. There it goes, but he does not get to steal. A second of a delay there. If he had just casted it, and when he got there immediately, he would have been fine. Instead, the Warden, now sitting at level 2, will be able to get in some extra damage as the Shadow Strike does land on that Death Knight. Death Knight trying to get away. Warden is in position to perhaps land in one more hit. No, not going to land in any more hits. But a second Shadow Strike could be used again to slow down that Death Knight and get that Death Knight back at home. Now, the big problem is that the Death Knight has no easy ways of healing except for staying on Blight. No Unholy Aura, so no better passive regeneration, as the ghouls are, wow, a lot of them looking to try and surround that Warden. Warden looks like she will be able to escape without any problems. Meanwhile, off over here, the Wisp is going to try and pick up perhaps a Forest Troll Trapper and a Troll Shadow Priest. There you go. The units now heading away, going to be heading back off to the north. The units are just walking by each other right there. Meanwhile, ghouls chasing after that Warden here, as the Warden just going to shadow meld, and this might actually be a problem. If the Death Knight has Dust of Appearance, which he did, the Warden would have been surrounded and a blink would have been used. All right, little bit of damage coming across as well. The Warden, knowing that she cannot really survive in these fights, needs to figure out where to go, and constantly just running into those ghouls. Not a very, very smart move either, as the Warden is now heading back off to the north. However, what is going to do there? Blinks past all of the units and now heading back off to the north, perhaps to try and pick up these items here, and that is going to be a good use of time right there. All right, Claws of Attack +6. The skeletal minion was trying to destroy them, unable to do so though, as a Death Coil does go down on a Null Warden. Death Knight does get a little bit of experience finally, as this final Null Warden will get taken down at the hands of the Warden, as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest healing back up that Warden there. Death Knight still with plenty of mana ready to go. Units are now looking to back off over here. You can see there is a Wisp as well. It is going to be retreating. Archers going to be pelting down those units. And a Rod of Necromancy charge is used once again. All right. Wow. Aggroing the creeps only to see them turn on you in just an instant. Death Knight does not use a Death Coil. Meanwhile, back off across over here, you can see the Null Overseer has been taking a little bit of damage. Meanwhile, ghouls are actually looking to finish things off, as the Death Knight is trying to get a killing Death Coil off on that Null Overseer. All right, this would be level 2 on that Death Knight. That is the reason why it is so important there, as the Null Overseer is now doing a little bit of damage back and forth. Are the archers going to be able to finish it off, finishing off some of those skeletal minions? 164. Archers are all right there still, as the Death Knight, what is going down? There it is, level 2, as the Claws of Attack +6 given to the Null Warden, who is now at +14 attack. Death Knight benefiting from that Unholy Aura. Ghouls now back on Blight to regenerate hit points, but that Null Warden, solo Warden, can in fact become a lot of trouble later on. We are at Tree of Ages, nearing Tree of Ages. Hunter's Hall is now done, with plenty of gold and lumber ready to go. Ancient of War in position to tank off this creep camp. Meanwhile, the No Warden is in position to perhaps get to level 3. And if it does get to level 3, you can imagine that Warden will be coming across inside here to try and shut down some of these Acolytes as the tech to Black Citadel is getting completed. All right, Warden is now at 3. Are we going to see a Shadow Strike onto any units? That Ghoul looks for a prime target as the Warden now going after some of these units here. Death Knight still nearby. Item, Tome of Strength, Ring of Regeneration is right there as the skeletal minion is going to get taken down once more. Back down across over here. Death Coil does arrive in time, saving a Ghoul as the Warden now needs to perhaps pick up a Ring of Regeneration. But what will it really drop? Circlet of Nobility could be dropped there for a better item. And is it going to be a circle? No, Claws of Attack +6 as the Warden going to be picking up a Ring of Regeneration and also that Tome of Strength. All right, right there. Ring of Regeneration, Tome of Strength picked up. That Warden now much stronger as a solo hero. Should have more hit points throughout this matchup as this Archer does need to back off, taking a lot of damage so far. All right, meanwhile, Ancient of War still looking to eat its ways through these trees and head off to over here. Warden looking to get into position, but is very low on hit points. Not quite sure how much damage she can really do as she looks to perhaps Shadow Strike. There goes one Ghoul, and now perhaps another Ghoul could get taken down. All right, units are doing a bit of chase. That low hit point Ghoul, are we going to see another Shadow Strike? Yes, we are. That Ghoul is going to get taken down. A little bit more experience given again as the Ghouls have not turned around. Meanwhile, back across over here, engaging again. The No Warden, or the Warden, now seeing that level 4, does have a Ring of Regeneration. So it is actually able to stick around in this fight a little bit longer than I would have expected. All right, we could be seeing a Shadow Strike here in just a moment. Are we going to see that Shadow Strike go down onto that Warden? Actually, no, on this Warden instead. On this Acolyte. Acolyte is going to get taken down. Staff of teleporting back home, and there you have it. Ancient of War looking to perhaps get next to the Crypt Fiend to take him down. Not going to be able to do so. Warden is at level 4 right now and is pretty much back up to full already with a Staff of Teleportation ready to go to re-engage. Lich gets to level 2. Death Knight sitting at level 2 still. And the hero advantage, which belonged to Shadai in game number 2, now greatly in favor of the Warden and Sonik in game number 3. Frost Nova, Shadow Strike. Are we going to see death of a Crypt Fiend as it gets Dark Ritualed by the Lich, denying that all-important experience at this stage? Another Shadow Strike does go down as the Warden blinks in front to try and finish it off, but a beautiful denial once again by Shadai to deny experience, but units are still being lost. The Warden now going to be facing a Dark Ranger as they do a little bit of an engagement right there. The Warden now looking to back off and get back home. Ancient of War is in position to try and creep out this red creep camp off to the north, and the Warden can then do a tremendous amount of damage as the Bears need to get mastery training before they try and creep out that creep camp. That Warden making its way across over here. Is it going to be able to deal that damage? Warden now wandering around. You can see Destroyer form is being upgraded. Warden comes across, gets in an easy Shadow Strike, going to finish off one Acolyte pretty quickly. There is silence now on that Warden as the Warden is trying to get away. Is it going to be able to engage easily up against these units? Another Shadow Strike does go down onto that Ghoul. The Ghoul is on Blight, but I don't know if it's going to be able to regenerate those hit points fast enough. Down to 55. What? Down to 30. Okay, one more tick or two more ticks should do it. Oh, and it survives with 7 hit points. Warden now back off to the north, picks up, uses a replenishment potion, and now using that Ring of Regeneration, getting in a little bit more mana as the Death Knight gets to level 3. Level 1 on the Dark Ranger with that silence should be very important to try and shut down the escape mechanisms on that Warden as the Warden sells the Ring of Regeneration and is now perhaps going after some more units. All right, Ring of Replenishment. All right, Death Coil. And a lot of damage being dealt already as we are now going to be looking at Bears looking in on this engagement. All right. Ghoul looking to get away, gets into the front line and going after some of these units. One Ghoul does get taken down, but that was just a Ghoul as the units are now looking to pull back once more. Death Coil onto the Druid of the Claw. Rejuvenation now being added. Is he going to be able to escape? No, he is not. He was not in bear form, hence the low hit points and easy focus fire from the Death Knight and that Lich. Warden now looking to engage off over here. You can see the slow poison causing a bit of a problem as the bears now getting in some easy damage onto that one poor unsuspecting Death Knight. All right, Warden does not have an Orb of Venom, unfortunately, so the Destroyer is still in the air as the Warden now being forced to back off again. Bears going up against this 5-3-3-1 creep camp. Gonna finish off the Null Overseer here. Warden will get to level 5. And the Warden, main problem so far is that she does not have enough mana. Does pick up a Tome of Strength, has a Talisman of Evasion, and is she just blinking across the map? Yeah, she does have level 3 blink. Very, very fast unit. And drop a Circuit of Mobility. Oh no, did not drop the Circuit of Mobility. Interesting. When using those Moonwells, could have actually come out with a little bit more mana. We'll see if that comes back to haunt her, as she is currently using a Clarity Potion and also has an Orb of Venom. Plus 13 attack, adding in a Panda now in order to perhaps deal with, well, not exactly sure what it is dealing with at all, as the Warden is going to get into position. All right, Warden gonna look to engage right here. Could blink straight Shadow Strike onto that Death Knight. Death Knight in a little bit of trouble. Could get a Breath of Fire, sees the rest of the army, and decides to back off here. Tome of Intelligence gonna be left behind for the Warden to pick up, and that Warden now having a little bit more mana than she normally would. All right, every creep camp save for the 2 on the top now cleared up. Death Knight still low on hit points, but does have a health stone and obsidian statues to help with that recovery. Dark Ranger at level 2, Lich is at level 3. We are heading over here to the top right. You can see that the Destroyers do spot this here, and we are going to be going after these creep camps in just a moment. There is an Ancient of War, though, and we could be seeing a slight engagement as we now take down that Forest Troll Warlord. Death Knight is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Will he be able to pick up? Yes, picks up Book of the Dead. Very, very nice item, as the Destroyer Obsidian statue is going to get taken down, no repairing. Death Knight now in a little bit of trouble, losing one obsidian statue, and the primary way to get healed right now, as the Death Coil does go down on that Destroyer. Breath of Fire, Death Knight in trouble, uses the potion or health stone just in time as the things are turning back around. Obsidian statue number 2 looks like it will get taken down, and with 2 obsidian statues down, this is going to be an uphill climb for Shadai in order to get back. But a good use, wait, what was, Abolish Magic quickly used, but still not in time, as the surround did go down as well. There goes a Druid of the Claw. Units are still fighting back and forth. That Crypt Fiend unable to stay alive, as we see the Druid of the Claw, well, unable to attack anything. Warden now coming back over here to engage. There it is, a level 5 Warden. Scroll of Town Portal now being used. The Destroyer unable to fly over the tree line in time and gets taken down. All right, Warden just shy of level 6, 105 experience. Well, I guess that's not just shy, a little shy of level 6, as we now have the Undead almost sitting at level 4. Level 4, almost level 4, level 3, and level 2 going up against a level 6. The Warden is trying to get into position, and if it does finish off a handful of Acolytes, should be able to get level, very, very importantly, get to level 6. If it does get to level 6, that is going to be a very big deal right there, as you see a little bit of slow poison coming in. There goes another death right there. Shadow Strike again. The Warden trying to get that last bit of experience. Death Coil does come in, as the Warden still looking to finish off the remaining units. All right, Shadow Strike onto the Death Knight. Death Knight now down to about 370 hit points, as the Warden blinks back down here and is going to try and re-engage. All right, is he going to be able to get there? Unable to get there at all. Going after some of these Acolytes. The Warden is in a bit of trouble. Is it going to be able to blink away? Yes, it will. And that very, very fast-moving Warden just dancing away once again. Panda working hard to get to level 2 and perhaps even level 3 while harassing, as the Dryad's going to be finishing off that Red Drake. We really need to see more Crypt Fiends come out. And so far, though, 26 over 60, Shadai does not have enough gold to really build a large enough army to combat what we're looking at here. Panda gets up to level 3, decides to ignore a Tome of Intelligence, as we now see the Panda heading back over here to the top left. Warden getting in a bit more mana. Panda getting every last bit of experience that he possibly can. As we see the Warden about, 55 experience shy from level 6, which does mean that all very powerful Avatar of Vengeance. Alright, there goes a Ghoul running by. Is it going to be able to catch up to it? A Shadow Strike. Is it going to be able to get enough hits? Death Knight is nearby. There is that Death Coil. Does blink away as it ends up trying to escape. Back across over here. Panda looking very, very strong. Could perhaps use a Clarity Potion. We're seeing at 59 over 70. Still mining a bit of gold, as more bears could be added to the numbers. Dryads are plentiful. The Warden is still looking very, very strong, as the Ghouls are making sure that there are no expansions out on the map. Looking at 34 over 60, as I believe some buildings were unsummoned. No, a new crypt now being placed down. So perhaps we are going to be trying to go into gargoyles. Interesting strategy. Specifically because, well, the Dryads and the Gargoyles are both weak to each other. I would have thought double Crypt Fiends would have been the better call. And then you just try and protect from those bears the best you can. Keep them running away. Get abominations in on them. As we now see the Warden just inside here once again, just constantly harassing. And this is just looking like a fun moment as the Warden is just trying to finish off some of these units. All right, the Warden at level 5, able to just blink all around, finishing off one unit. Is he going to be able to finish off another? Gets another Death Coil off. There is one Gargoyle off over here as the Warden is trying to finish off these units. And wow, that Warden is just causing so many problems, able to blink constantly away, but still shy of level 6. All right, Robe of Magi on the Warden. Got up to 495 maximum mana. Needs to use a Clarity Potion and just wait a little bit. Maybe even use a Moonstone to try to fill up those Moon Wells. And we're going to see the Clarity Potion replenish back up to maybe about 250 mana, and then once she picks up the Robe of Magi and Circlet of Nobility, could be somewhere in the realm of 375. All right, let's take a look at that. Just buying a little bit of time once more. Is that Clarity Potion coming to an end? Yes, it is. A second Clarity Potion already being used. So that is going to be up to about 300 mana as that Clarity Potion... Oh, you're going to continue to drop it. And wait for fill up those Moon Wells a little bit more. Yeah, could have used that just up a little bit more. Picks them up, and now is going to be at 495 once again. That Warden so difficult to kill right now. Still teleporting all around without any problems. Death Knight getting back up to a respectable size army, 48 over 60. As there's currently one Gargoyle there. Gargoyles have shown up to the party. There is a silence, and that is a bit of a problem as the Abomination does not realize that he's attacking his own buildings. Death Knight is nearby. No Dust of Appearance. There's the quick jump inside as the Death Knight does get a Death Coil off. All right, still more damage being dealt as the Warden is just... Where is she? Heading back off over here. Shadow Strike onto a Gargoyle as the Gargoyle now is forced to flee. All right, Stone Form perhaps going to be a good upgrade. That is a lot of Gargoyles right there, but that's only 18 to 21 damage. 61 to 70 is that air versus air attack, but 18 to 21 compared to the Dryads 20 to 28. This is just not looking good at all. All right, let's take a look. Warden now looking to come inside right here. Gets a Shadow Strike off again. No Dust of Appearance this time around. This Acolyte is very, very low on hit points, but it looks like it will end up surviving. Going in for it once again. One Acolyte, two Acolytes very low on hit points as the units are now looking to back off once more. Did the Warden level or get a kill? Yes, he did. At 5 experience shy right now and still looking for an easy target. Gargoyles could easily finish off that Wisp right there. Not quite sure why it doesn't. Decides to back away. Death Knight would have gotten to level, or perhaps gotten to level 4 there. With better regeneration, all of the units are just waiting for this upcoming fight, and Sonik is just trying to make sure he does not mess this up. Right. Yeah, very interesting choice right now. Panda was already out on the field, so the Breath of Fire on the Panda is now just that much stronger. And if the Warden tries to retrain into Fan of Knives, all of those gargoyles are pretty much going to be dead. Let's see what's going to be happening next. Gargoyles just flying around here. There's some Wisp right there. Warden is in position, takes a little bit of damage, but has regenerated all of his hit points, or her hit points, once more. Let's take a look at this. Gargoyles can easily go after a single Wisp. Just go take it down. There it goes. Does get taken down. I don't know. Nope. I believe that was, in fact, a detonation. Warden now looking to come across over here. Is going to be able to find anything. A little bit of damage. And there is a Shadow Strike onto the unit. As it is going to be a Shadow Melt again. There's a Dust of Appearance. Death Coil unable to finish it off as the Acolyte is trying to get away. A second Shadow Strike as the Blink does go down. But the Warden is now at 6. Sitting at over 1,000 hit points. And able to escape once more. All right, we are looking at the Tree of Eternity, Ancient of Wonders, and Ancient of Lore, doing the slow trek down. Sonik wanting to make sure not to make a critical mistake in this game, as the Warden is just far too fast for anyone else to handle. 3/3 upgrades at this stage. We are looking to unsummon a couple of buildings. 25 seconds left of mining here, as more and more gargoyles are going to be added. All right, let's take a look. Unsummoning the graveyard deliberately so that there are no skeletons for that Warden to use. All right, blinking around. Shadow Strike onto the gargoyle. I do like the gargoyle strategy for one particular reason. It does not leave behind corpses. As the gargoyle, very low on hit points. Where's the Death Knight? Oh, going to go into stone form and regenerate those hit points back up very, very quickly. All right, Avatar of Vengeance is nearby, taking a lot of damage, now going to be backing off again. You can see the Ancient of Lores, the Entwalk, now coming into position as we are now engaging. All right, Ancient of Wonder is going to get quickly taken down. Building after building going to fall here as the ghouls are going to fall. They are going to give a Spirit of Vengeances. That is going to be a problem as the bears are now looking to perhaps get taken down. All right, Panda quickly forced to use a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Warden now looking to back away again as the gargoyles are looking to finish off the dryads off to the north. All right, back off to the north here. Death Knight still wandering around. You can see that the Death Knight trying to save some of those units as there is the game call. Unable to really deal with a level 6 Warden, there is the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 3 and this series from Gera Cup 72.